Across China today, remarkable scenes are unfolding. In smart factories, robots assemble cars with incredible precision. Beyond the factory floor, they compete in half marathons, spar in boxing rings, and even help direct traffic on busy city streets. Meanwhile, tourists crowd ice and snow parks and scenic destinations, while consumers fill cinemas and shopping malls. Together, these snapshots of a dynamic China illustrate the country's new development strategy. Welcome to Xictionary. Today, we take a closer look at China's new development pattern. In this special edition, international analysts join us to explore what it means for China and why it matters to the world.
First introduced by Chinese President Xi Jinping in 2020, the new development pattern highlights dual circulation.
逐步形成以国内大循环为主体，国内国际双循环相互促进的新发展格局，培育新形势下我国参与国际合作和竞争新优势。
The new development pattern was incorporated into China's 14th five-year plan, guiding the country's development from 2021 to 2025. In the next 5 years, China will need to accelerate the advancement of this new development pattern, strengthen domestic circulation, and promote smoother flows between domestic and international markets.
So, why is it crucial for China to establish this new development pattern? The new development pattern was introduced in response to changes in China's domestic conditions and the need for long-term, high-quality growth. It also reflects China's swift adaptation to a changing global landscape marked by rising protectionism and anti-globalization.
我们提出构建新发展格局，是立足中国自身发展阶段和发展条件，充分考虑经济全球化和外部环境变化所做出的战略抉择。
Experts say the new development pattern is forward-looking, putting China in the driver's seat for its long-term growth.
It is designed to make China resilient and to keep China engaged with the world in all different ways and to prepare for the future.
China's domestic market has now become so much bigger that China can really develop very important sectors of production, particularly new production domestically, and then use them internationally.
At its core, the new development pattern is about ensuring smooth economic flows and achieving greater self-reliance. But how can China effectively implement this strategy?
我们将扭住扩大内需战略基点，畅通国民经济循环。
With a population of more than 1.4 billion and per capita gross domestic product exceeding $10,000, China is home to one of the world's largest and most promising consumer markets. In recent years, China has stepped up efforts to boost consumption, including expanded trade-in programs, more consumer finance options, and stronger employment support. In 2025, final consumption expenditure contributed 52% to China's GDP growth, cementing its role as the economy's main engine. Expanding domestic demand has been identified as a top priority task for China's economic work in 2026. And the recommendations for the 15th five-year plan call for a notable increase in household consumption as a share of GDP.
China's consumer market is the most rapidly growing of any major economy in the world. The government documents certainly stress the question of development consumption, but they also say that investment has to be continued, so that's a balanced approach in what the government is putting forward.
President Xi's vision is to certainly concentrate on the domestic demand side, but not to sacrifice the future in order to do that. And so not sacrificing the future means to keep a very high development in the modern industrial economy and innovation, because those will give great growth 5, 10, 15 years from now.
Technological innovation has become another pillar of the new development pattern.
我们将大力推动科技创新，打造经济发展新动能。
China rolled out many pro-innovation measures to encourage enterprises to intensify research and development, apply the latest sci-tech achievements to real-world scenarios, and refine the management of major sci-tech projects. President Xi has pushed for the establishment of a new system for mobilizing resources nationwide to make key technological breakthroughs.
During the 14th five-year plan, China achieved what no developing country has ever achieved before, which is to become a technological leader in an important series of sectors. EVs, wind power, solar power, areas of telecommunications, drones, sectors of AI.
China's technological strength gained further momentum in 2025, with R&D spending reaching 3.93 trillion yuan, the second highest in the world. During this same period, China also entered the global top 10 in the Innovation Index for the first time.
The engine of innovation is basic research, and China is putting a very large amount of resources, a very high percentage of GDP is going into R&D. Policies from the central government, President Xi's leadership has focused on that with tremendous consistency.
Significantly enhancing self-reliance and strength in science and technology was listed among the major goals in the recommendations for the 15th five-year plan.
Innovation and self-reliance open up incredible partnership opportunities. China's tech ascendancy isn't just domestic, it's creating a sophisticated first-mover market that foreign investors can tap directly.
President Xi has emphasized that advancing the new development pattern also means accelerating the growth of a modern industrial system and promoting coordinated development across cities, rural areas, and regions. Over the years, strategies to develop major regions, such as the Yangtze River Economic Belt and the Guangdong-Hong Kong-Macau Greater Bay Area, have strengthened regional coordination, boosted domestic connectivity, and energized China's internal market.
Some say that the dual circulation pattern is a sign that China is turning its back on the world. President Xi has stressed that this is not the case.
以国内大循环为主体，绝不是关起门来封闭运行，而是通过发挥内需潜力，使国内市场和国际市场更好连通，更好利用国际国内两个市场、两种资源，实现更加强劲、可持续的发展。
As a major trading partner with more than 150 countries and regions, China is countering unilateralism and protectionism by expanding its economic openness and diversifying export markets. The country's 22 pilot free trade zones have actively aligned with high-standard international economic and trade rules. The recent launch of island-wide special customs operations in the Hainan Free Trade Port underscores China's commitment to high-standard opening up.
I think that China is really trying to be an open economy and also opening regulations and governance for foreign businesses to be able to maneuver and navigate well in China. And that's a very important part of the 15th five-year plan.
Over the next 5 years, China plans to continue expanding opening up at the institutional level, safeguard the multilateral trading system, and promote broader international economic flows.
From bustling consumer markets to cutting-edge innovation hubs, China is building a development pattern powered by both domestic strength and global connectivity. China contributes roughly 30% to global growth, and its economic priorities naturally attract worldwide attention. The country's two sessions, the annual meetings of China's top legislature and its top political advisory body, offer a clear window into these priorities. Let's hear what the analysts expect from the meetings.
where I'll be particularly looking at the economic sections and also looking, because the new 5-year plan will be being discussed, to see what's China's precise ideas of how to develop this.
Keep your eyes on the key policies emerging from the 2026 two sessions. This historic moment launches the full 15th 5-year plan with major pushes in investor-relevant areas, funding into new energy, new IT, and new materials.
So it's a very important year in the sense that a plan for the next 5 years is being laid out. And this 15th 5-year plan has a very broad range of issues about economy, about the revitalization of the rural areas, about new materials, about industrial strength, about a lot of things, but also about opening up.
This year's 2026 Liang Hui two sessions will be an important indicator of where China is headed for the next 5 years or so. I look for this year's two sessions to be highly focused on China's economy and building it for the future, preparing for 2035, doing the efficient financing, focusing on high quality productive forces, the modern industrial system, encouraging innovation, and signaling to the world that China is fully engaged in the world through the 4 global initiatives that President Xi has put forth.